इसमें क्या सीखा आपने?
ये इसका मुझे कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है अभी तक।
बट इस फिल्म में क्या है, किस तरह की?
इस फिल्म में सिर्फ ये कल्चरल डिफरेंस है कि हिंदुस्तान में रह के कुछ वेस्टर्न कल्चर फॉलो करती हैं और आई एम टोटल इंडियन बॉय एंड बर्दाश्त करते रहते हैं और फिर एक ऐसा टाइम आता है।
सॉरी, वन रिक्वेस्ट, आप सामने का स्क्रीन सबको लगाइए।
स्टील दादा फ्रेम में आपका कैमरा फ्रेम में स्टील दादा
सबसे लगे
दोबारा से शुरू करना है।
अभी आ रहा है
जी।
सलमान, इस फिल्म में हम अपने किरदार के बारे में हमें कुछ बताइए। शादी करके फंस गए हैं।
जी, बता ही रहा हूँ, वही बता रहा हूँ। इसमें यह है कि टोटल हिंदुस्तानी लड़का है ये और उनको एक ऐसी बीवी मिल जाती है जो कि हिंदुस्तानी है लेकिन काफ़ी वेस्टर्न है और छोटी छोटी बातों पे झगड़े मेरी बर्दाश्त करते रहते हैं। कभी अपनी माँ का साइड ले लें, कभी अपनी बीवी का साइड ले लें और फिर एक टाइम ऐसा आता है जहाँ पे उनकी मदर का काफ़ी वेस्टर्न इन्फ्लुएंस है इस लड़की पर एंड ऐसा आता है टाइम के उनको फिर दिखाना पड़ता है कि भैया दिस इज़ योर वेस्टर्न कल्चर, ये यहाँ पे नहीं चलता है। ये इट्स अबाउट दिस टोटल वेस्टर्न गर्ल हु टर्न्स इनटू रियलाइजेस हर फॉल्ट एंड फिर वो हिंदुस्तानी बन जाती है 3-4 चांटे खाने के बाद। जी।
A lot of your films recently, even
Yes.
if they have a storyline, they have had a very strong touch of humor and a very strong dose of comedy.
Right.
How easy or difficult do you find doing this genre of humor and comedy?
It's depends. I mean, I personally feel that I suck at comedy, but this is the only one thing that I should be doing for quite some time till all these problems clear out. I mean, as it is, we've got so much of poverty and so many problems in our lives. I mean, from what you've been seeing. So this is that 2.5 hours that gives you just about all the fun and a good time that you can actually forget about your life in 2.5, 3 hours and come back.
Salman, you just said that you suck at comedy. I don't think a lot of us don't think so. But
Thank you
firstly,
very
what
much.
do you think is your forte?
Yeah. Now that you said that you don't think so, and some people don't think so, then I think that is my forte.
ओके, इसके अलावा सलमान, आपकी एक फिल्म थी मैंने प्यार किया।
जी।
फिर आई मैंने प्यार क्यों किया?
जी।
मुझसे शादी करोगी?
जी।
अगर शादी करके फंस गया, ये कहीं कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी नहीं हो जाता है आपके?
जी हाँ, ये तो मेरा लाइफ है, contradiction. So I mean, it just comes naturally to me, all these things.
इस फिल्म के म्यूजिक के बारे में कुछ बताइए।
इस फिल्म का म्यूज़िक आपने अभी तक सुना नहीं है, ये कुछ 1 साल पहले रिलीज़ हो चुका है। कैसेट बिक चुके हैं, हिट हो चुका है, फिर वो वापस से पब्लिसाइज करेंगे इस म्यूज़िक को एंड होप इट पिक्स अप अगेन बिकॉज द फिल्म इज़ अ रियली नाइस फिल्म। इन फैक्ट आई एम सैडन्ड बाय द फैक्ट कि अभी तक रिलीज़ क्यों नहीं हुई थी।
सबसे अच्छा गाना कौन सा लगता है आपको?
याद नहीं मुझे।
सलमान, ये फिल्म 1 साल पहले इसका म्यूजिक लॉन्च हुआ था,
जी।
इतना डिले हो गया, इसका कोई कारण है?
जी, इसमें यह है कि सी आजकल क्या हो गया कि काफ़ी बिजनेसमैन जो हैं जो पिक्चरों में देव कम इनसाइड फिल्म इंडस्ट्री एंड जब तक उनको टेबल पर प्रॉफिट नहीं दिखता है तब तक वो पिक्चर रिलीज़ नहीं करते। सो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ दोज पीपल दैट वी गॉट स्टक विथ एंड वी आर डिलेड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट के सो देन इवेंचुअली वी ऑल हैड टू लीव आवर रेम्यूनरेशंस एंड पैसे सब छोड़ दिए पिक्चर के अंदर। सो जस्ट टू सी दैट आवर प्रोड्यूसर डजंट सफर एंड द फिल्म शुड डू वेल।
No, what is the USP of the film? Do you think?
अच्छा, शिल्पा के साथ काम करने का?
जी जी, वो कहाँ से यूएसपी हो?
किस किस्म की केमिस्ट्री रहेगी आपकी?
जी,
शिल्पा और आपके बीच में किस किस्म की केमिस्ट्री रहेगी?
इस फिल्म में काफ़ी केमिस्ट्री है। इस फिल्म में एक्चुअली काफ़ी सीन्स है, ह्यूमर में केमिस्ट्री है, कॉमेडी में केमिस्ट्री है, जो हमारे रोमांटिक सीन्स है उसमें केमिस्ट्री है। मतलब इतनी केमिस्ट्री कि मुझे स्कूल की याद दिला देती है वो।
Salman, you just said that we're faced with here so many problems and we need to be laughing out. More recently, Bombay has seen a lot of.
I don't think we should. I don't think in our lives. I mean, when you go and watch the movies, I don't think you should be reminded of that stuff once again. But in our lives, I don't think this is something to laugh about at all. Nothing to laugh about.
Last week when it was raining,
Because
it didn't detect you. You were back on the floor shooting for Janeman. After
Yeah.
the bomb blast, you still.
That is very inconsiderate of me, by the way. So it's not a compliment for any of the Bombaikars, as you call them, or the Bombayites. Mumbaikars or Bombayites. So it's not complimentary. Okay, ho gaya, and then the next day everyone's life goes on. But what about the people who are affected? What about those people who have actually done it and watched TV and seen the effect and think that the mission is accomplished? That is really sad.
You think the spirit will
Because
go
no
back?
religion Humanity doesn't teach you this. So whatever their cause is, keep to the people concerned with. Don't go and bring it out on people who are innocent, who've got nothing to do with this. Until the time a common man doesn't take a stand on this, which a common man has started talking about this and condemning it, like all of us.
Anything about the
What
spirit of
kind of
Bombay?
a stand? What kind of a stand do you think the government should
See, I don't blame anybody. Like the politicians, they have a lot of work to do. So one individual has to take care of himself. I mean, just simple, just look around. Have your own security, as in the sense that if you see a bag, make sure it's out. Help one another. That's what it is. That's basically what it is.
I want one
Yeah.
English bite about your role in this film.
What?
About your role in this film in English.
In English, yeah. I'm this total Indian guy who wants to get married, and he sees this girl who he instantly falls in love with, realizing much later that she belongs to a very, very Western culture. Been born and brought up in India. I mean, she's that total MTV, Channel V kind of girl, and which is not basically our culture. I mean, we're moving towards that. I hope not. But this is what and how he tries to basically turn her. I mean, he's not an orthodox or a male chauvinistic pig. I mean, he's just a very simple boy, and he doesn't like a few things, which are very, very justified. And she believes in a totally different way of living, which eventually she realizes, I mean, and then she listens to him eventually after 3 or 4 slaps.
Salman, how much do you have to relate to your roles in order to be able to play them?
Quite a bit, actually, quite a bit. And I don't have to work on it, because pretty much everything I do, I somewhere see a side of me doing that. So that's the reason why no negative roles yet.
सलमान, शादी आपने पहले कह दिया कि आपको कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं
जी, बिल्कुल।
है, लेकिन शादी पर बहुत सारा ह्यूमर हुआ है और ये शादी करके फंसने की बात की जा रही है, तो आपको लगता है कि शादी और रिलेशनशिप में बहुत ह्यूमर छुपा हुआ है?
जी, काफ़ी. Actually, all the movies like BB Number 1 and Mujhse Shaadi Karoge, I mean, they're all basically that. And काफ़ी कॉमेडी चीज़ है मैरिज, आई थिंक.
सलमान, आपको शादी
झगड़ों में भी मतलब कि आपकी माँ ने ये क्यों बोला, खाने पे क्यों बुलाया, so all that stuff. I mean, जो सास बहू के अभी एकता कपूर is making money on just that. No?
आपको शादी का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, लेकिन स्क्रीन पर गोविंदा
मेरे फादर को है, मेरे भाइयों, मेरे दोस्तों को है.
के लिए आपको सिलेक्ट किया
And everyone says, you know what, it is the best thing, get married. And they go, yeah. Yeah, okay. So thanks, buddy. No, but I'm sure it's it's beautiful. I mean, if they cannot live without their wives, and every relationship has their ups and downs, and it's good. I mean, I should try one of these days.
Salman, you said that you've seen your married friends, your brother, your
Yeah.
dad. So from these,
My dad is, by the way, really happy because he's got 2 wives. And they're both happy too. And they both get along fine.
So Salman, from these observations, what do you think a man should be careful about so as to avoid saying later कि शादी करके फंस गया यार?
No, I didn't hear that question. I was somewhere else right now.
If you've observed your dad, your brother, your friends after they've been married, what do you think you would avoid, you would be careful about, so that you don't have to say later कि मैं तो शादी करके?
Nothing. They're not careful about nothing. They just do the right things. And I mean, if you're doing the right thing, if you're taking care of your wife, your children, and just being a really good husband and a good father, you don't have to take care of nothing.
सलमान, यहाँ हिंदी में आपसे जानना चाहूँगी
जी, पहले इंग्लिश में बोलती हैं फिर आप
क्या
2 चैनल हैं? वाह, हमारे पास एक भी नहीं, आपके पास 2 हैं.
मुझे ये जो डिले हुआ है इसको लेकर, जैसे कि कहा था कि पिछले साल इसका म्यूजिक रिलीज हो चुका है, लेकिन ये फिल्म आते डिले हो गया है
जी.
इसके कारण के बारे में जानना चाहूँगी.
इसके कारण ये हैं कि पहले तो पैसों की तंगी थी, और फिर हमारा वक्त कुछ ऐसा चल रहा था कि जिस वक्त हमारी कोई पिक्चर खरीदने की तैयार नहीं थे. उस वक्त उसके बाद फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को ऐसा लगा कि ये किसी ने पिक्चर देखी नहीं थी. उस वक्त ऐसा लगा कि यार बाकी की पिक्चर आ रही हैं, वो पिक्चर ले लें. प्रोड्यूसर के ऊपर कोई भरोसा नहीं था, एंड ऐसा लग रहा था कि थोड़ी सी डेटेड पिक्चर है. अब जब पिक्चर देखी उन्होंने 2 साल बाद, तो उनका ऐसा लगा कि यार ये पिक्चर बहुत अच्छी, इसको रिलीज़ होना चाहिए. एंड देन नाउ एवरीबॉडीज गॉट टुगेदर एंड नाउ दे आर रिलीजिंग द फिल्म.
God forbid if there is some further delay and the film still doesn't release. you gonna do?
then it's got to cigaretto.
Okay, one bite जो अभी मुंबई जिस हादसे से गुजरा है, एज सेलिब्रिटी आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे स्पिरिट ऑफ मुंबई के लिए या आम लोगों के लिए?
पहले तो इट्स रियली सैड, ना कोई रिलीजन आपको ये सिखाता है कि आप किसी की जान लो, ना I don't think on any humanitarian grounds you should be doing something like this. जो भी आपका कॉज है वो आप एजुकेशन से पूरा करें. ऐसे काफ़ी लोग हैं, ऐसे काफ़ी countries हैं जिन्होंने who went through all whatever torture that they had to go through, लेकिन they educated their children, they put their children in such high posts, इतनी बड़ी बड़ी जगहों पर बच्चों को पढ़ा लिखा के बड़ा बनाया है कि today automatically they are the most powerful people. तो ये जो है अभी क्या हासिल कर लिया, जाने लेके क्या हासिल कर, I mean जो community के हैं, that community is condemning them. It is the worst thing that can ever be done. I mean, wives are waiting for their husbands to come home, their children. एक ही आदमी होगा जो who's the breadwinner. उनको मार के क्या फायदा? It's not right. It's not right from any angle. It's really sad, and I don't know. And I'm sure this will all be all about money, because if they're religious people, then I don't think any religion anywhere in the world teaches that.
तो क्या हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री कुछ करने के लिए सोच रही है?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I'm collecting money from my friends, and we'll donate it to those people directly, though.
Salman, when these incidents happen, do they make you question, are we really free? Are we really free as a nation, even say 57 years after, 59 years after independence?
No, I feel sad for those people who have that mind to brainwash those people who don't have that mind. I feel sad for those people who don't have that mind, that they don't build that mind not to be conned by these people who have the mind. I feel sad for those people who, to impress a particular somebody who's their boss, or out of fear, would go and do something like this. I get upset about those bosses who would make their boys, their workers, do something like this. Like I said, I mean, I come from a very, I have all the cultures in my family, I have all the religions in my family, and I know a little bit about religion. And no matter where I've read, I've read the Quran, I've read the Gita, I've read books on Buddhism, the Bible. Nowhere does it say this. And then why? I mean, then what are they? Then what books have they been reading so far? That is something I don't understand, because I think the only solution for this is there should be very little greed in just about everybody, no fear, and the sensibility to do the right thing. The power to starve, the power to think, and the power to wait. This is not going to solve any problems. This is just going to make them worse. Educate your children, then your grandchildren, and then your great-grandchildren. By the time your great-great-grandchildren come, you have achieved whatever you wanted to achieve.
Are we better off as a free nation, or were we better off during the times of the Britishers? At least we weren't fighting amongst each other.
Well, we were ruled then, we are ruled now. So I don't know. It's basically, till the time a common man doesn't stand up, he's a common man. The day one guy stands up, it's a different ball game altogether.
Okay, Salman, Bollywood has become an overseas market. What
Yeah,
future?
Hollywood has become the overseas market. Now you tell me about this, I don't know.
Hindi cinema.
Yeah.
They got a big market. Nobody.
Nowadays, no, yeah, fantastic, yeah.
So-
Our prices will increase.
So, what future you see for Shaadi Karke Phas Gaya Yaar in overseas market? What do you think?
This film, I see a very bleak future, by the way. Even though it's a good film, but we don't have that money for publicity. And I don't think you guys are going to publicize this much anyway. So It is, I see a very bleak future. I mean, they won't have enough money for hoardings and posters and stuff like that. So when there's no awareness, when there's no publicity, people will not know. Unless people really, really like the film, and then there's mouth publicity, and then people go and watch the film, which is in the hands of...
But you said you are the USP of the film. So
Yeah, but I don't work that much. I used to. I could pull Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now I can't. Just being modest, dude.
सलमान, अगर फिल्मों की बात की जाए तो हमने आपको रोमांटिक रोल्स में देखा है, एक्शन रोल्स में देखा है,
जी।
तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कॉमेडी फिल्में आप कर रहे हैं,
जी।
तो क्या हम मान लें कि सलमान आजकल कॉमेडी ज़्यादा एंजॉय कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, हर पिक्चर में everything is in my movies. You have emotion, you have action, comedy होती है, and plus there is a very Indian plot. You know, जो हमारे संस्कार, जो हमारी सभ्यता है, उसके हिसाब से plots चलते हैं हमारे. Especially for me, because I want my audience to be from the great grandchildren to the great grandparents. I want them to be able to see each and every film together. क्योंकि जब हम लोग छोटे थे, and we used to watch Hollywood movies on video, and then when there used to be like a love-making scene, so everyone used to look around, and the parents would be awkward, and they used to forward that. So that is something stuck in my mind. So I make sure that something like that does not happen. The only person who's going to expose, who's allowed to expose in my movies is me.
Any dream role of Salman?
No.
So when are we going to hear Salman saying "Shaadi karke fas gaye yaar"?
You'll never once you'll never hear that.
This is शादी करके बस गए यार. When is that going to happen?
Fantastic timers.
When is that going to happen?
Yes, it's all. अभी अरे आपको इतनी क्यों जल्दी है?
सलमान, आपने एक फिल्म की स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग की है, लेकिन वो फिल्म अभी तक बनी नहीं है, तो
कौन सी?
इसके बाद आप डायरेक्ट करेंगे?
कौन सी?
सुना है कि आपने एक फिल्म की स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग की है.
Yeah, I wrote a film, but then इसके पहले मैंने एक और पिक्चर लिखी थी. I think it was called Chandramukhi. From that day I realized never to write. I think I'm about 10 years ahead of time. तो ये पिक्चर मैं 10 साल के बाद बनाऊंगा.
क्या सलमान डायरेक्शन में आएंगे इन फ्यूचर?
इंशाल्लाह जब एक्टिंग की दुकान बंद हो जाएंगे तो डायरेक्शन भी ट्राई करेंगे.
Salman bhai, can you tell us something about your upcoming projects?
Okay. There's Janiman, there's Marigold, there's God to See Great, there's Babel, and there's Salam Ishq, there's Partner. 6.